Hey guys, welcome back to Space for Edit. My name's Cynthia, and on this channel we talk about all the things that they don't teach you about interior designers profession in uni, in school, in flashy magazines. So here we get behind the scenes and you get all the juicy details. In today's video, I have gotten nice and cozy. I haven't delivered you this view for a while because I just fancied to sit down and talk a little bit more about the actual journey of an interior designer, right from the beginning, from the internship, from junior's position all the way to the top. So if you have ever wondered what the hell do you actually do as an interior designer, then this is the video for you. Why would this be interesting to someone? Well, I don't know. All the videos that I make are basically something that I think that back in the day when I first started out, I wanted to know about these things, or it would have been nice to know about these things. So I thought that maybe showing you the actual progression of your career as an interior designer will give you a bit of a different perspective about the profession, because it's definitely not all just about picking color schemes, samples, and going to site visits. There's so much more to this profession, and yeah, I just wanted to share it with you. And obviously all along the way I will be adding some Cynthia sprinkle all over it. I'll share my own experience and my own stories. So in this video we will look into a few different things. We'll start with the junior designer, its roles and responsibilities. Moving on to midway designer, same, the role and responsibilities. Then senior interior designer, role and responsibilities. And then we'll briefly touch on managers and associates, directors, as well as finish up with some of your questions from Instagram. So if you haven't, now's the time actually to pause this video and go and follow me on Instagram, because I do post a lot of things there. So we'll wrap up with some of those questions, as well as we will look on to job sites just to see what the current situation out there is. It's a little bit hectic with everything that's going on at the time of filming. I'm filming this in 1st of July. The COVID situation is still going on in the world, and obviously UK's economy has been hit pretty hard. So the job market out there is crazy. People are getting laid off, so there will be a lot more people looking for jobs. So we'll look at that. We'll look at different levels, what you can get for your work, you know, and yeah. So I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Let's get on to it. Right, so here you are, fresh out the university, and you are eager to start working in the industry. You've graduated, you are just excited to start, right? Finally, you've got a job and you can actually say that you are an interior designer because you get paid for it. I definitely remember doing that because it took me about 1.5 years to get my first internship in the industry, and all that time when people were asking me, so what do you do? I was like, yeah, I'm an interior designer, but in the back of my head I was like, I have not worked a single day in an interior design office and not done a single project. So you kind of feel like a little bit of a fraud at that point. But now you got your first job and the world's your oyster. So let's touch on your responsibilities as a junior interior designer. So the main massive bulk of your tasks will be the little teeny tiny things that everyone else doesn't want to do. So this will be calling up suppliers to get the samples in, creating sample boards. You will spend a lot of time doing visuals and presentations, refining any other design work that kind of comes back for review. And to be honest, for most part, this is the fun part, isn't it? This is probably, in your whole journey as an interior designer, this will be the most creative part of your career. You will need to know the software, so mostly that is SketchUp or any kind of other 3D rendering, 3D design software, which I actually got a course out, so check the link below if you're interested. Then you will need to know AutoCAD, which is for your drawings. or again any similar software. Then usually InDesign and Photoshop, so those are more like for the finishing touches for your presentation documents. InDesign seems to be quite good with not creating bulky massive files, so if you got a presentation of 20 to 50 pages, it's not going to create a massive file, so design companies tend to use that. And yeah, Photoshop, and obviously all your usual emails and words and things like that, you know, just the boring stuff. Now, as far as your responsibilities and maybe to-do list goes, you will probably be getting any kind of work coming your way. Like literally you will be passed on from a midway or senior designer all around town, just because you will be doing all those little teeny tiny things that are easy to pick up, so you don't really need a lot of briefing and a lot of explanation. So honestly, don't get bogged down with that. Don't feel like, you know, you have just been used and abused. Really just take it all in, because this is the time where you can learn so much, so just soak it all up. Like honestly, I feel like in my time as a junior designer, I learned so much more than I have in my whole career. Honestly, that is how much information you can soak up if you are in the right place. If you are running around making teas and coffees and not doing much work, then you might want to move away and find another opportunity that teaches you a lot more and gives you a lot more opportunities. You might get lucky and actually get to go on some client meetings and some site visits, which is great. Definitely do your best to be as helpful as possible, but in reality most of your days will be spent in front of a computer doing those visuals or mood boards or anything similar. But if you do feel like you haven't been given the opportunity to kind of stand up a little bit and join some meetings or go on site surveys, then definitely show the initiative and show that you are interested to join in. But don't be too needy. Neediness is never a good thing, and because people in design office are very, very busy, you will probably get on someone's nerves if you are constantly like asking for, can I go and do something on a site visit or anything similar. But yeah, so maybe just show that you are enthusiastic about it. So ask questions. If someone comes back from a site visit, maybe ask you questions. So how did it go? How it went? And can I see like some photos? You know, just be kind of chilled but intrigued about what they've done. I think at this point in your career, you really need to show the senior team what you can do and your commitment and your talent as such. So they need to see that you can be trusted with other work, you can be trusted with a bigger workload, that you deliver on time, you know what you're talking about. Let's be honest, most of the time we don't, especially as juniors, but you know, fake it till you make it sometimes. Not all the way, but you know what I mean. So yeah, and a part of this whole showing up thing will be putting in the hours. So I really would suggest you really put in the hours and show up as much as you can, instead of making excuses that no, I actually can't stay late today because I've gotta go to the gym, or I've got a concert, or I've got a restaurant booked for something. Obviously, if it happens all the time, like every single night, every week, then that's a bit cheeky from them. So, you know, maybe again, get out of that situation and stand your ground. But if you feel like the whole team are knackered, everyone is pulling in, and there's just a lot of work on at the moment, you know, it all comes in waves. Like you get super busy and then you get no work at all, and you get super busy again. So if you are in that busy stage and you know that your team needs your support, then be there for them. Again, this is going to earn you a lot of brownie points. I think interning or being a junior designer can be quite frustrating, because first of all, it's probably one of your first jobs in the industry, so you are really learning the ropes and learning the real face of the industry. So for some it might be really hard as well to realize how hard actually people work in the industry. But at the same time, I remember myself being as an intern and looking at other team members and maybe looking at more midway and senior designers and thinking, well, why am I putting even more effort in and I'm doing even more work than they are doing, but I'm not even getting half of the pay that they are getting? Now, looking back at that, I realized that at that point I was not getting paid for how much work I do. As you progress in your career as a designer, you will get paid more for the responsibility and the experience that you have. It's not going to be how much work you physically can do. It's going to be more about how much responsibility you can take on and how much of experience you've got on your shoulders. It also can be hard socially. I know how it is to be a newbie and join a new team where all the people kind of know each other already. That's quite a hard one to get by and get past, but just be yourself. It's hard for all people to be like social butterflies, especially when you see that there's already quite strong bonds between other team members. But you know, just do your best. If you're making brews with other team members in the kitchen, then just have a little small talk and try to get to know people as much as you can. And if there's anything going on outside the office hours, try your best to join in, because that's how you are forming relationships as well. And this is actually a part of your training for like the rest of your career, because interior design is about people. It is about people relationships, and good people skills and charisma and good personality is going to get you a lot further in your career than just being good at software. My first ever design manager or senior designer told me that you can teach people software and you can teach people how to do things by the protocol, but you can't teach them personality. You can't force personality on someone. If they don't have any drive or spark coming from inside, then it's just a lost cause. So it's really up to you there. So definitely just hang in there, your time will come. Just learn the ropes and enjoy the journey, I guess. Boom. Yes, can I hear a clap? Please, you've done it. You've gone to the next level. I don't dance now, I make money move. Well done. In short, well done. This is like the biggest step that you could take, and there are actually few ways how you can get to the next level to become a midway interior designer. So let's look at a few of them. So first of all, you could finally be recognized for your hard work. So organically, the company that you work for have decided to give you a promotion. You could also work up the courage and put the facts to the paper and go up to the director or design manager and ask for the promotion. That is absolutely fair, and you are absolutely in all right to do so if you feel like you've reached the level and you feel like you can take on more responsibility. There, you could also get a little bit lucky. As life happens, people go on maternity leave, so some midway or more senior level roles are empty to be filled in. So usually companies turn to their own employees first to fill in those positions. So fingers crossed someone gets knocked off, or the last case, you could just move on to a different employer. Yep, the word on the street is, and I know that myself as well, that the easiest way to get a promotion or to get to the next level is literally change jobs, move on to a different company and apply for a role that is higher than your existing role. Obviously, again, you need to be confident that you can handle that role. You need to know that you can handle that responsibility and you are ready for it. If you are a junior that's been a junior only for a couple of months and wants to jump into a midway role straight away, then you might have to think a little bit and just sit back and learn a bit more before you take that next shot. But if you've been a junior for a while now and you feel like, you know what, this company is not really giving me the opportunities that I want, or I just feel like I'm not fulfilled here and I could do more, then go for it. Write up the CV, go to some interviews and see what the world has got for you. Okay, so now let's look at your responsibilities as a midweight designer. So basically, first of all, go over the whole list of responsibilities as a junior and add up a lot more work, effort, responsibility on top of that. The good side of the whole thing is that you will actually finally be able to start building up some relationships with clients. So if it's emails, site meetings, if it's phone calls, anything, keeping in touch with clients, that's how you're going to start building the relationship with your clients. So at this point, you are really stepping up your game. You are no longer sitting in the back seat. You are there at the driver's seat, but right next to you will be a senior designer or a design manager who will still manage your workload and make sure that you are doing all the right things and meeting your deadlines. So you will not be alone, but at the same time you will be a lot more independent. At this point as well, there is no room for winging it. If back in the junior position you could kind of get away with things and blame it on your lack of experience, then at this point, if you don't know something, then your responsibility is to go and find it out, like straight away. If you don't know something that the client is talking about, or you haven't really researched your client or the company that you will be designing for, then that is your responsibility, no one else's. You need to stay on top of your game. I really hate it when people start to play the blame game and not take responsibility for their own actions or for their own wrongdoings, guesses that haven't come true. It is so frustrating because it can easily, I would rather work with someone who says, you know what, yes, I messed up. I should have asked, I should have stepped up and figured that out myself instead of brushing it under the carpet. So I would rather work with someone like that and have a lot more respect for people like that, rather than someone who says, well, you know, they didn't come back to me and it was just too late and I didn't know what to do and the design manager wasn't in that day. No. You get paid for your level of responsibility, so step up. Also, just because you have stepped up a little bit doesn't mean that you are only focusing on your own projects. At this point, you are still a part of the team in most companies, and you will be asked to kind of dip your toes into various projects and kind of just help your teammates out if they are struggling with workload. So don't get too caught up with, oh, you know what, I've got my own projects now and I don't do anything else. No, that's not the case. You are still a part of the team and you will still be working on other projects as well. And things like site visits are just a given at this stage. You will be going back and forth, meeting clients, meeting contractors, and just being a very active part of the project. Like I said, a senior designer or design manager will always look over you and just make sure that you are doing the right things, but pretty much you are on your own there, and you know, you can make your own decisions now. I'll be honest with you guys, what we do as interior designers, it is not an easy job. It is not a normal 9 to 5. It will never be. There will always be extra work and extra effort that you have to put in. A lot of people, a lot of money are involved in big interior design projects or even small design projects. There is so much involvement there, and if you make the wrong assumptions or take the wrong approach or wrong decisions, then that will come and bite you back. So if you are not confident, then just double check everything. Have your senior support. You should always be able to ask for senior support, and you know, make sure you do your job at 100%. So it's quite an exciting bit, but eventually you kind of get bored a little bit. Even though it's very fast paced, you get a lot of responsibility, there's lots to do, you are constantly busy, but at some point you just kind of reach a level where there's only so many mood boards that you can do, or so many site visits you can do, and so many Zoom calls that you can take, that you just feel like you can step your game up and there's more that you could learn. So the next stage is, yes, senior designer level, baby. Welcome to the above and beyond. Okay, well, that might be a little bit too dramatic there, but you know what I mean. At this point, you've probably been in the industry for a while now. You kind of know what's going on and you are ready to level up like Ciara. Now, once again, depending on the size of the company that you will be working for, the responsibilities of your role as a senior can be different from company to company, but usually these are the basic responsibilities that you will have to take on at a senior level. So you will still be able to take a lot of control over the design direction, but most often, just because there's going to be so much to do and so much responsibility relying on you, you will most likely not have just the time to do everything. So what this leads to is delegating all the little jobs that you can to other team members. So these will be the juniors, the interns, the midway designers. So you will be able to give them direction, to give them the brief, still be in touch with the client, but that work, the actual sitting down at the desk, doing the work, being the creative, maybe thinking about the design detail, that will be up to someone else. Now again, this will be different from company to company. At the moment, I'm quite fresh in my senior role, so I still get to do a lot of design work, and probably because our company isn't as big, I still get a chance and time to focus on that design and do those visuals and do some mood boards. But from time to time, I do have to work with other team members and just ask them for help to do that creative work for me. And at this point in your career, also say hello to even more client work, even more socializing and networking. It might sound very glamorous and fabulous, but actually in real world, what this means is that there's even more time and responsibility on your shoulders. So you need to do your design work, and then you need to go and mingle and network and go out with the client. That sounds wrong. Well, you know what I mean. There's even more responsibility and there's more time that you need to invest in your career. People will see you as a valuable team member. They know that you can represent the company. They know you got good people skills. So this is really the next level of your progression as an interior designer. And of course, project management. Now, as a midway designer, again, depending on company size, you probably already have had a little dip into project management, but as a senior, you will have once again a lot more responsibility towards managing the projects, managing clients' expectations. Depending on the size of the company, you might have separate project managers who take on the work, but you will still be in touch with them just to ensure that the design and the vision is delivered as supposed to. But in many companies, project management is a role that interior designers take on as a part of the job, really. So once again, more time, more responsibilities, more money. And I think the downside of this whole new exciting level is that people get lost in this busyness, in the logistics of things, in networking, in client contact, that you as a designer can get a little bit lost and can lose your drive and passion for the job. It hasn't happened to me yet. As I said, I'm quite fresh in the senior role, but I have seen a lot of other senior designers who have kind of been through this cycle, and they realize that they don't even get to do the thing that they love the most, which is creating mood boards, creating new visuals and designing and looking at the design detail. You know, that is the juice. That's the stuff that you love to do. But as a senior level designer, you are more like a manager instead of a creative. So that can happen, and just be prepared that that will be like a natural progression of the job. But you know, it's a mindset thing. If you really want to make the big money in this business, then you just have to accept that not all the time you will be able to be super creative. Most of the time you will have to think with your business hat on, and you will just have to do more of the manager kind of role, manager things, to be where you want to be. I would say 70% of the time you will have to be more like a business person, and then 30% of the time you will be able to do the creative work. Okay, so quickly let's touch on the higher level that are above senior designers. So these are design managers, these are associates, these are directors, these are account managers. So there's quite a lot of other kinds of people that you can find in design offices. Now, this is not to say that those people have to have a design background. They can come from a similar background, but their responsibilities are more tied in with people management or business management. So you don't really, as a designer, you don't have to go to that next level. You know, you can stay as a senior for as long as you want, but again, to probably make more money, you will have to just decide whether you want to take that next step. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you are with me still so far. I can talk about this topic for ages and share so many stories with you, but I think these are the basics that would be just interesting to know. And now onto the juicy part. I think we should go online and just check what are the opportunities out there in the UK at this point in time, and see what the responsibilities are versus the pay. Okay, so I'm basically going onto Google and checking out to see what's out there for interior designers. Total jobs usually, I think, is, oh, Indeed, actually, that's better. It's a bit more official. So let's have a look. Interior designer, 20 to 30,000 pounds. Interior designer doesn't really say what level this is. Senior interior designer, senior here. Okay, so let's start with senior. See what they want from us. So they are looking for an experienced interior designer, ideally with some sector experience, so that's in the hospitality and commercial, who can take on fast-paced role, deal with challenges, think quickly. So this is where we come back to the level of experience that you get throughout your career. Team players, again, told you the social skills, people skills, AutoCAD or Revit, and SketchUp ideally on top of salary, so you get some bonuses here and there, really depends on the company. Okay, so that's that senior level. Let's see what, there we go. This is a bit more broken down so you can really see what they are looking for. Devise beautiful designs, luxury residential projects, converse with clients, carry out site surveys, AutoCAD plans, create conceptual design briefs, and ensure projects run smoothly according. So this is literally what I've been just talking about, guys. This is project management, this is creative, this is social skills, and obviously creativity as well. And then there's some technical stuff. Minimum of 5 years experience, background in the UK, in the residential sector, high-end residential as well. Strong creative flair, FF&E, ability to work independently, strong presentation skills, drive and motivation. Okay, so you can see roughly what they expect from a senior interior designer, and that is roughly in between 30 to 40,000 pounds per year. You could see that the senior level had 30 to 38,000. So my guess is that these two roles down here are for Midway interior designers. Let's have a look. Duties include uphold ethos, look at reputation, greeting clients, concept design, site visits, CAD, technical, hand drawings, liaising with suppliers and contractors, liaising with clients and building a relationship over the phone in person, traveling, miscellaneous tasks. So like I said, again, quite a lot of tasks here, but they don't really mention that kind of a next level of responsibility. Successful candidate will have proven success in handling luxury projects, concept to completion. So you really need experience as a midway designer. You need to be kind of ready to take on that whole stage of concept to completion. So what they are looking for skills wise, you need AutoCAD, SketchUp or alternative design software, luxury furnishings, hand drawings, project management, working successfully under pressure, M&E drawing, so that's all of your drawing package, create digital and physical mood boards. And then they go into more like your knowledge and social skills, knowing the trends, keeping up with the trends. So yeah, and there you go. Experience that they require is 3 years, whereas the experience for senior level was more like 5 years, and that is 20 to 30,000 per year. So yeah, I would say that this is definitely a description of a midway designer. Now let's just scroll down and see if there's anything. Oh, no juniors. Looks like it's a tough time for juniors. Now let's go to London. They must have something. Okay, so just because it's London, for those of you who don't know, the living costs and just life in general in London is a lot more expensive. So for 20 to 29,000 per year, you can get that kind of salary as a junior interior designer, whereas this sort of a salary would be more like a midway role if it was up north, where the living costs are a lot less. So let's just have a look at this. Residential hospitality, junior interior designer. Let's see what they're looking for. So just a quick summary, job description. This person projects concept through completion. See, this is quite like a big deal to ask from a junior designer to have experience on this kind of a level. Excellent communicator, great client facing, have experienced technical drawing packages. So yeah, there's quite a lot of experience that they are asking from a junior already. Dress styles, so again, just keeping up with the trends. Necessary skills, minimum of 18 months of professional experience. So 18 months, that is a year and a half. Yes, I'm doing my maths right. So a year and a half, you have to have that kind of experience to apply for this job. Maybe that's why the reason is that there's this kind of a big gap between the pay. So if you are really fitting the criteria, you are able to more aim for that higher rate. So AutoCAD, Vectorworks, Adobe InDesign, like I said, it's all your standard softwares. Good use of estimate. See, this is quite specific as well. That's not like a software that all design companies use. You must have worked on projects from beginning to end. Again, for a junior designer, that's quite a big ask. Ability to deliver conceptual design ideas, great communication skills, friendly, and a friendly smile. Oof, these Southerners are tough. Okay, work with a friendly company who look after regular social events. So by the sounds of it, it looks like this company is quite nice and friendly, and because that's what they really are about. Straight away the first sentence says that. But for a junior role, I think that's quite a lot to ask. Let's see what this one's like. Okay, drafting plans and elevations, supporting creative director, senior designer, supporting other members. So this is more like it. This talks about more of the support side. So, and sourcing side, sourcing suppliers, developing relationships, meeting with suppliers. So see what I say about all of these little jobs and kind of doing the things that everyone else hasn't got time for. Keeping studio sample library organized and up to date. Someone has to do it. It would be nice that everyone did that and just put things back where they're supposed to be, but that doesn't often happen. Creation of mood boards for film production requirements, furniture, image sourcing, ranging overseas photography, liaising third-party attendance, client meetings. So that's nice of them. They are including their juniors into client meetings. Creation, providing additional ad hoc skills. So InDesign, Vectorworks, Microsoft Office, must have CAD skills, passion for sourcing, all-rounder when it comes to FF&E, so you need to know your fixtures and fixings, creativity, natural instinct for style, positive outlook. So this is more like your confidence, good communication skills, everything that I talked about. Like, this is very important because, once again, interior design is a people's business. People buy from people. Okay, so that was quite interesting and pretty much echoed everything that I talked about before. Now, I asked on Instagram really quickly, do you guys have any questions? Again, follow me if you haven't for any future opportunities like this. But yeah, let's look at some of the questions that you have sent through. So one question was about pay scale for the people of various levels versus the type of job description for those levels. So obviously we've just looked at that, and you can see for yourself the difference and do your own research in your own home country. Next, what are the job opportunities after masters in interior design, both in the UK as well as Europe? Yeah, so that's obviously a hard question at the moment. Like I said, the COVID situation is a little bit hectic, to say the least. So I would just say, just go to your job websites, have a look. Always good to just connect with the company straight away yourselves as well. Go through LinkedIn, try to make connections with people who are at more of a director and manager level, maybe even HR within design companies that you want to join. Hi, is the hierarchy the same for interior architecture? Yes, so in the industry, we don't really separate interior architects from interior designers. We are all kind of in the same bag because the skill sets are quite similar, and to be honest, well done for you for choosing interior architecture, because I think you get to learn a lot more technical skills that will be very useful for you when you actually start your career in the industry. And there was one more question, portfolio and interview tips for freshers. I actually have videos on both of those topics, so if you do go, I will probably pop them up somewhere here and the link in the description bar below, or just go on my channel and have a little look through. There is a video about tips for job interviews, for interior design job interviews specifically, as well as things that you should have in your portfolio. So those two videos are already there. So guys, that's it. Quite a long video. Like I said, I could talk for hours about this topic and share all the stories, but we only have so much time, and I understand that your time is precious as well. So thank you so much for staying till the end. It has taken me 4 to 5 years to get to a senior level. Obviously, like I said, I'm more like a senior level in training at the moment, but it has taken me a while to get to the senior position. But at the same time, when you look at the bigger picture, it's not really that long. If you show that you are willing to put in the work, if you show your talent, if you got good people skills, then you can progress quite quickly. I think my ability to adapt and just have a random chit chat with people has really helped me to progress in the industry. That's just kind of my feeling. I think that's what's happened. But yeah, obviously I work hard and I show the companies, my employers, what I'm capable of doing. So it's really all in your hands. Some people come straight out of university and get really good paid jobs straight away. That's just crazy for me, because I got paid pennies at first. But some people do, they just get lucky, and other people are happy to stay as a midway designer for the whole of their career. They just don't want to take that extra responsibility. They don't want to go away from that creative bubble that you get from being a midway designer. So yeah, it's really all in your hands. I hope this helped. I hope it was interesting. Again, thank you so much for your time and watching this. If you have more time to spare and want to learn more things about behind the scenes of interior design, there's plenty of videos on my channel, so just click down below and have a little look around. And if you really like this video, if you learned something, probably the best thing you can do is take a screenshot of this, whether you are watching it on your phone or on your screen, on the big screen at home, and just share it on Instagram and tag me in it, because that's the best support that you guys can do, is just spreading the word about this little channel. I will probably see you in the next video, and if you are interested in that 3D SketchUp course, then there's a link down below where you can find all the information. And if I don't see you there, then I'll see you in the next video. Bye!